I'm Troy Kirby with MLT News with a quick look at the 2021 Washington State Legislative Session. Senate lawmakers debated Engrossed House Bill 1090, which would ban private, for-profit detention facilities. The bill passed the House 76-21 on February 23rd and passed the Senate 28-21. The House and Senate will now negotiate adoption of amendments between the two chambers, and if passed, the legislation will make its way to the governor's office for an opportunity to be signed into law.
This bill takes an important step towards providing a public health approach to what we now refer to as detention facilities in our state. You may recall, well, probably not you, Mr. President, but others may recall that last year we did pass House Bill 2576, and that bill directed the Department of Health to evaluate the current state and local authority and state authority regarding practices in private detention facilities in our state.
You know, we heard a lot of public testimony on this particular issue, and the public testimony really focused on conditions within the facility. And to be perfectly clear, this is a federal facility. So the issue at hand appears to be one of federal administration and oversight of these private detention facilities. So some say that we would be better served fixing our efforts on encouraging better oversight by the federal government of these facilities.
There is an underlying problem when you have a for-profit prison. And what they were doing down there is literally busing people from all over the country to come up to make sure that the contractor had the population that it was contracted to have. So they were literally taking people away from their homes in other states and transporting them across the country so that a profit could be made.
I just wanted to speak in opposition to the 1090. I've been in this facility a couple of times. I have a friend that worked there, and he invited me there as I was a Pierce County Council member to tour the facility, and we went through the whole facility and looked it over. And I've been through quite a few different jails in my career, and I didn't see anything inappropriate. Or the lunchroom was operated right. The food looked like it was adequate.
The private company, for those who wish to know, has a quota. They're paid on a basis of a quota of the number of beds filled. And when they have other facilities around the country who are not meeting their quota and have an excess of prisoners, in this particular one, just for your information, they do move people around so that they can fill the quota and get the appropriate amount of money from the federal government.
I guess it occurs to me that we should clean up our own house before we worry about a federal facility. You look at the COVID rates in some of our state-run prisons. If you look at some of the people released that shouldn't be released from our prisons, clearly shouldn't have been, and how they're run overall, we should be looking at reforming and cleaning up our own correction system before we worry about closing one that's privately run up, and I'll be voting no.
Thank you for watching the Daily Legislative Report by MLT News, covering the 2021 legislative session.